You're listening to WGAB The GabCast by the Gabber newspaper, your source of news for Gulfport, St. Pete, and the beaches. And we're back in the newsroom. I am here with Sam Henderson, who was mayor of Gulfport for 13 years and is now our opinion columnist. And I want to ask you, Sam, if there was you were mayor for 13 years, this town has its odds and ends. There's got to be some great story. There's got to be some crazy stories from when you were there. I want to hear someone or something that like you interacted with a Gulfport resident that just like a story that you tell at parties or that's just like really hard to wrap your mind around.
I'm going to go with one from year one when I started this in 2009 as the Ward 4 councilman. A resident.
So you're not even mayor yet?
Not mayor.
Okay.
No, it's my very first year in. In fact, this is probably the first really weird story that I had.
Okay.
It's been a little while.
Yeah.
So a woman had emailed that she wanted to meet with me, someone from my ward. And so, but she clearly from her email spoke very broken English. We contacted her. She speaks fluent Russian, and we have an officer, Officer Eva, speaks fluent Russian. So what are the odds? So we came in and had a meeting in the city manager's office, me, Jim O'Reilly, the resident, and Officer Eva. Mm-hmm. And she starts telling the story. Officer Eva is translating it, and I hear the word wampir. So I'm like, is that vampire? Is this lady talking about vampires in this meeting? And so after this lady's spoken, Officer Eva turns to look at me to translate what she's just heard, and that is the complaint. Her neighbor is a vampire. They're breaking in the house after dark and feeding on her and her son. And there's also a warlock that lives on the other side who is casting spells at them through the bushes. So I had to, in all seriousness, have this conversation with this old school, Russian babushka sitting there with me. And all I ended up being able to say is like, there's no laws on the books about vampires. But trespassing is right out. So if you can let us know when the vampire is on the property, we can get that vampire for trespassing.
Oh my God.
And she seemed to think that was okay, and we never got a call back about it.
Well,
because I don't want to be the guy to arrest a vampire.
And everyone knows that a vampire can't come unless invited anyway. And so if he's on your property,
I don't think she
probably
understood vampire rules. Yeah.
So
that is why we have tasers equipped with garlic now.
Garlic tasers. So I can't even imagine how skilled that you must have been to listen to that and then keep a straight face, right? Like you're like, this is a serious complaint.
I did my best. I'm pretty sure I just looked like this.
Right. But then also to find a way as a council member to give serious, thoughtful, rational advice. Like, hey, let me look through the freaking manual.
Right.
It doesn't say anything about vampires, but trespassing ordinances. Here's how you. And wow, get.
We couldn't get Al Capone for gangster stuff, but we got him for tax evasion.
Exactly. Yeah.
We get the vampires,
on trespassing. Absolutely. You see this lady who comes, and pun intended, who's totally bananas and coming in, and she
was serious,
right? But then she walks away satisfied with your response without having to delve into the bananas world with her.
Yeah.
For a little bit you did. You're like, hey, if the vampire trespasses, we can get. Wow, that's a great story. And year one, so that's the first year you were a council member, and you said, what, give me 13 more years of this?
Oh, yeah. Because, if that's going to happen in year one, it's only going to get weirder from there. And indeed it did. But that's still one of my favorites.
Sure.
And then since Officer Eva was there, that kind of forged our relationship because the very first time when I won the mayor race in 2013, we had a hell of a big party. Got a tiny little house, and I think we had 120 people on the property.
Okay.
Cops had to come by. They drew straws for who got to go, and it was Officer Eva, every time I had a noise complaint.
Wow.
Thereafter.
That's awesome.
Until I just said, stop drawing straws.
Right.
I was like, you're clearly my cop for coming to tell me to shut the hell up. And she did.
Right.
Both with the band playing, both for parties at my house. So, yeah. Wow. It was always Officer Eva that came and told me to pipe down.
Hey, you go through the whole vampire lady thing together, and you're like this. That's great.
Really made a bond.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, thanks for sitting with us, Sam. Always great to have your stories, and I love your column.
Cheers, and thanks. I'm happy to be doing this with you guys.
Today, we're revisiting our trip to the Cat Box, where we spoke to Dara Worthington, CEO of Friends of Strays. Hi, my name is Nicole Vogler, and I'm the producer of the GabCast. And today we are going into the Cat Box from Friends of Strays to talk to some volunteers, meet some kitties, and see what they got going on. So let's go inside. I am back in the Cat Box conference room with
Dara Worthington.
Awesome. And then what's your role here, Dara?
I'm the CEO.
Okay, wow. So did you started up Friends of Strays?
I did. Well,
Okay.
no, did I start Friends of Strays?
Yeah.
No.
Okay,
Friends
okay.
of Strays is actually 47 years old.
Wow, I did not
Yeah.
know that.
Yes, we're the first no-kill shelter in St. Petersburg.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So how long have you been with Friends of Strays?
I've been here about 8.5 years.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Wow, and what's your favorite part of working with Friends of Strays? Like what keeps you
Oh my
what keeps you
gosh,
around?
I mean, so much. Like I have been an animal lover my whole life,
Mm-hmm.
and getting this job was just a dream for me.
Mm-hmm.
I love the fact that we help animals every single day. Animals that are going to die in other shelters because they don't have the resources to care for them. I love the fact that this team is so passionate about the work that we all do here. And the community really supports us, and so it's a dream come true for me to be able to lead this organization.
It's such a unique place. Like I haven't been in a lot of shelters, but when I walked in here, I expected it to feel less like a therapy spa.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I walked in here and it was very like comforting and like peaceful, and there was
That
like
was the
classical
plan.
music playing. And so how long has the Cat Box been open specifically?
We opened it last July 1st.
Wow.
Yeah, so not long.
Uh-huh.
And then right after we opened it, Milton hit us in October, and we had to close down for about 2 months because we had water intrusion from the storm. So we're very happy to be back open and saving cats every day. And we really put a lot of thought into this building. We didn't want it to feel like your normal shelter, like you know. Even the old shelter that is now housing dogs for us until we get the new dog building built. You know, it feels like a shelter. It's, you know, cage banks and, you know, not real comfortable spaces. And especially when we had the cats over there, the adoptable cats, they were stressed all the time because there were dogs right across the hall. And you hear the dogs barking and the cats get upset. And then we have
Just chaos.
chaos. And then we also do community cats. So we take we do self-trapping and assisted trapping. And so these are, you know, outdoor cats that come in that have never been spayed or neutered or anything. And so they come in, we do their spay and neuter surgery, vaccinate them and ear tip them. But that smell from those cats coming in upsets the cats that are adoptable.
Oh,
So we really wanted to make this space a calm and soothing space for cats. And we thoughtfully designed all of the rooms so we have really a great space for any cat that comes in here that needs our care. So we have 2 rooms that are free roaming, so no cage banks at all. We have 3 rooms that have cage banks, but even the rooms that have cage banks, the cats get out during the day. We work with them to see who gets along with whom, and we do like play groups throughout the day, so they can get out of their space. We've got 2 kitten rooms, which doubles what we had at the original shelter. And then we have 2 rooms called Airbnb rooms.
That's so cute. That's so cute. Airbnb. What's the Airbnb?
So these are rooms for single cats or like a bonded pair. So it's mostly for cats that aren't really loving the shelter vibe.
Oh, I see.
They're having some trouble, you know, just adjusting to life here. And so maybe they don't like other cats, you know, maybe they just need to be in a single cat home. And this gives them a nice, safe, calm, quiet space where they can be their best selves and not be stressed out by having other cats around them.
Is that where the one is where the sign says like, please don't look at me, I'm still like adjusting to the shelter life?
Yes.
Okay. Because I made the mistake of accidentally looking at the cat, and then Cam pointed out the sign, and I was like, oh no, because he did not look happy with me that I was looking at him. I was like, I'm sorry. I appreciate the signs that you guys have that are like, here's how to recognize cat body language and how to know, you know, like there's a lot of guidelines, which I appreciate. I might just come back
to
here.
educate the public.
Yeah, right? I'm like, I might just come back here next time I'm like stressed. I need to
Absolutely.
like
We love
relax.
that.
Going Going back into one of the peaceful rooms, we met another Dara who was sitting and watching 3 kittens sleeping. While talking with her, we learned that she's quite the adoption pro and has a tried and true process to choosing a cat.
We're looking for the right one to bring home to add to our mix.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
do you mind if I sit next to you?
Sure.
Okay, awesome.
No problem.
So you said you're thinking about adopting here?
Yes,
And what's your name?
Dara.
Are you, oh my god. That's
Yes,
the
I have the
name of
same
owner.
name. Yes.
That's awesome.
We have the same name, yes.
Do you live in Gulfport?
No.
Where do you live?
South St. Pete.
Okay, nice. And why, like, what brings you here to, you said you're thinking about how many cats do you have?
We have 3.
Wow, and how many more do you want?
1.
Okay.
Just
okay.
1.
So you're looking at these 3 kitties trying to decide if
If one of them speaks to me. Yeah.
right, or if you just need all 3.
No, my husband, at that point, my husband would be like, you're sleeping outside.
Yeah, right. How long have you been here looking at the cats?
Well, today or over the last, 2-week span?
I guess today specifically, and then the 2-week span.
So I've been here for about a half hour to an hour today,
Okay.
and I've just periodically come to take a look at the kittens, because you don't make the decision lightly.
Yeah.
You want to, if you're looking for a certain personality, some of them are more laid back, some of them are more feisty.
Mm-hmm.
So it's more or less looking for the one that kind of
Yeah.
speaks to me
Yeah.
and brings,
It's a long application process.
Yes.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, it's not a. I know, a lot of people will come out and they'll just be like, I want this kitten.
Mm-hmm.
I want to really
Mm-hmm.
see if there's a connect, as corny as it sounds,
Yeah.
a connection with the.
No, corny but beautiful. Because it's like, oh, yeah, some people, you're right, they just come in, they're like, I want a black cat, let's go.
Yep.
Instead of, well, what is it to you, like, what specific personality traits are you looking for in a cat that...
Snuggly but feisty.
It's got
I
the
want it.
oxymoron.
I want them to be playful, but also want to
Yeah.
snuggle up.
Oh, and do you think one of these kitties right here in the box of 3 could...
It's possible.
Yeah.
The boy is more of a doesn't really want any attention.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I tried to take him out. My husband held him for a minute because he was here. He jumped out of my husband's arms.
Oh.
It was like, I want back.
Yeah.
So we put him, and he's very
Yeah.
happy in his box.
Oh,
He's
so
not.
maybe not this one.
Yeah, he's because originally that's really we wanted to bring a boy in because we have 3 girls, and adding another woman into the mix, like that might be too much. But fortunately or unfortunately, these 2 girls are absolutely adorable.
Oh, they're so cute. All snuggled in that little box. We walked in and you're sitting in this like quiet room watching these kitties sleep, and it just like, is it peaceful to
Yes.
you in here?
Yes.
Like it's kind of like therapy.
Yes.
That's amazing.
It's very therapeutic.
yeah. That's
Sitting
awesome.
and playing puppies, kittens, sitting in a room with puppies or kittens, and just letting them trounce. It's very therapeutic.
Yeah.
It really is.
And why do you come to the cat box specifically than any other place to go get a cat?
I've been a follower and fan of Friends of Strays and everything they do. So I tend to stick with them.
Yeah.
My mother-in-law adopted her cat from here. We adopted 3 cats from here. My daughter's cat she took with her when she moved out. So he's with her.
Yeah.
And then I have 2 other cats that we adopted from
Yeah.
Friends of Strays. And I have 1 cat that we adopted before I knew Friends of Strays existed.
Wow.
So
That's beautiful.
So yeah, Friends of Strays is my favorite rescue. I love everything they do. They do they have the people that do the catch and release for the ferals. They're just the organization itself is fantastic. So I kind of stick with them.
You guys are like the warrior adoption, like the adoption warriors. You have so many. Yeah, we were
No,
just talking.
I know people that have way more.
Yeah, we would wish you all the best of luck in your journey to find this cat that meshes well with you.
Thank you.
All right, folks. Well, thank you for tuning in to WGAB The GabCast. Until next time, you can get all your Gulfport, St. Pete, and the beaches news at thegabber.com. This episode was recorded by Cam Healy, the editor-in-chief of the Gabber newspaper, and edited by me, Nicole Vogler. The music you heard throughout this episode was made by Cyberwave Orchestra and Rocco. Thank you to Friends of Strays for letting us record in the cat box, and thank you to all of you for tuning in. And to steal a line from Ethan, I have been Nicole, and this has been the GabCast. We'll see you next time.